Jupiter conjoins Uranus on April 20th. This is perhaps one of the most important conjunctions of the year because it's the only one that we see in 2024 with two outer planets. So let's break it down. All right, so you can see on my chart here, this is the chart for the exact conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus. This is occurring at 21 degrees Taurus and 49 minutes. It's happening on April 20th, 2024. And if you want to get real precise, it's going to be at 9:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So just for your time zone. We have been feeling this aspect build up for quite some time. Jupiter is moving a little faster right now, but Jupiter doesn't move all that fast typically. So regardless, we've been feeling this aspect build up for a while. I've been really seeing it with Bitcoin. For example, when the eclipses were happening in Taurus, it sent the cryptocurrency to varying extremes. There was just like a lot of people pumping money into it. Then there was like a big crash with the eclipses. And then since the eclipses kind of left the sign of Taurus and Jupiter entered, we saw like this slow and steady increase. But Jupiter always is saying like, think of the possibilities, think of the possibilities. And there's not always going to be something super long lasting from Jupiter. But as Jupiter has come up closer to Uranus, we saw that very recent Bitcoin boom. So everyone was like, wow, it's back up. Crypto is back up again. And I'm not like a crypto expert, okay? So don't come at me. I'm just saying from what I've been observing. And then now, just before the aspect gets exact, it's kind of like dipping down again. So Uranus will bring that. Uranus will bring unpredictability. It's a very unstable, like destabilizing kind of energy. And really, I mean, Bitcoin's been around basically since around the time Uranus entered Aries. But it really wasn't until 2018 when Uranus entered Taurus that it really started to take off and catch on. So a lot of people have commented, we're not sure if this stage of cryptocurrency is the end all be all, but we are entering into a new elemental era. Can't really get into that here, but we talk about that in my classes. But basically, there's a lot of reason to believe that currency may make a big change. We may not see it this year, we may not see it in the next 20 years, but it's certainly going to change. The thing that it's made of, right? Like we can't just keep printing money. And that is one of the concerns that this aspect seems to be highlighting is economic concerns. But Jupiter is saying there's something hopeful. There's some kind of possibility here. When Jupiter and Uranus get together, they're really good at thinking outside the box. Jupiter brings like this level of encouragement and inspiration and saying, you know, what if we did it this way? Or what if we tried it another way? These two on a personal level, wherever you have Taurus in your chart, is going to be just like a major seed bomb of possibilities. There is a lot of abundance that can come from this. There can also, like I said, be a tremendously destabilizing energy with Uranus, but it's about finding freedom and creating new order, creating new possibilities. Not even order. I shouldn't say that. Just maybe more like experimentation or the courage to try something or aspire towards something that you've always kind of envisioned or desired, but it just seemed like out of reach or abnormal or just something that you just felt, you know, it probably just won't happen for me. This aspect says, you know, let's make it happen. It gives us a lot of agency in some ways. Like it kind of just puts the wind in our sails and says, hey, let's make some magic here. Let's find a new possibility. And when I'm thinking about this in terms of the collective, in terms of the financial plights that especially a lot of younger generations are facing, and older generations too, as it becomes harder to retire, you know, I feel like this aspect is saying, well, I might not be able to live up to society standards of where I should be at, but how can I reframe that in order to have the things that I want? Like I've been seeing people just kind of saying, well, saving for retirement is kind of pointless, so I'm just not going to. And take that pressure off of me and live in the present. And who knows, that could be horrible later. We don't know. There's no way to know what's going to happen. But I've been seeing a lot of people just say, I'm feeling really burnt out from trying to keep up with this lifestyle that I thought I had to live. And so I'm just going to find a way to break free from it. So, however that is going to look like for you, if you fall into that category, this aspect might kind of give you the nudge. I was going to say, Tauruses are going to feel this the most. If you have like a Taurus ascendant, you're going to feel this. This is just giving you the push to get out of your comfort zone and to do the big, brave thing. If you are Aries, this is going to happen in your second house. So if you if you're an Aries rising, this is going to happen in your financial house. So major financial themes here for you. Big, just like, why don't I give it a go? Why don't I do it this way? When I make the big purchase instead of waiting. For Pisces, this is going to happen in your third house of your community, your siblings, media, communication. For Aquarius, this is going to happen in your fourth house of home and family. So there could be some really big excitement happening like within your immediate family, your family of origin, or on the topic of like where you live or property. For Capricorn, this is going to be happening in your fifth house of creativity, children, joy, and delight. So this could be a really fun one for you, Capricorn, because this is going to say, do it, buy the plane ticket, take the trip of a lifetime, make a plan to do it now. For Sagittarius, this is happening in your sixth house. So maybe it's something about getting free from the endless grind of work somehow. Like you have to do something to bring the joy, which you're good at doing, Sagittarius. But maybe you've kind of gotten like sucked in or sucked under. And so now you just have to like make a change in order to have that space and freedom back. This could also have to do with health. So becoming aware of a health thing, or finding freedom, probably more likely finding freedom from some kind of thing that you struggle with health-wise. For you, Scorpio, this is happening in your seventh house of relationships. This is going to be a big deal for you. And I think that this will be thematic for you, especially as we get into some of these Venus aspects later in the month. This is just going to be really eye-opening for you in terms of relationships, finding freedom, experimentation in relationships, opening things up to more possibilities in the relationship, doing something out of the ordinary in your relationships. This could also be getting free from a relationship that no longer serves you, we'll say. For Libra, this is also going to be financial, happening in your eighth house. It could be joint resources. It's also this idea of expectation, shared expectation. So if you're in a relationship, there's an expectation of, okay, well, I already did the dishes twice today. Maybe you can get them the third time. That's eighth house stuff right there of expectation. So Libra, you're always being too nice. This might say, hey, I need you to pick up the slack a little bit. But there's also just something exciting, something liberating in terms of your partner's resources, or maybe this is a good time to pay something off right now if you can. Like if you just have that like last 1,000, just pay it off. Be free. For Virgo, this is going to be your ninth house. This would be a good time to book a trip or take a class of some kind. Really cool. Leo, 10th house. This is going to be in the house of career for you and visibility. Put yourself out there. Apply for a different job. Like if you're feeling stuck, or like if you feel like, gosh, I really wish I was doing something else, this is the time to make some changes in the patterning of your work, who you're working with, who you're working for, what you're aspiring to. This is the wake up call to do it now. That's all Uranus wants us to do, is to do it now. Cancer, this is your 11th house of friendships, groups, and connections. So this could be a really beautiful time to just be maybe doing more with friends, and maybe you're like planning something really exciting with some friends. Maybe you're collaborating in a really cool way. So like if you have a vision, if you have like a project in mind, this is the time to speak it into existence and get that ball rolling. For Gemini, last but not least, this is going to be happening in your 12th house. So boo, not as fun, but it's okay, Gemini, because pretty soon Uranus is going to be in your first house. So that'll be very, very, very exciting. And that'll start next year. But for right now, this is in your 12th house. So there could be something, yeah, I know this is like not as fun, but getting free from something in your subconscious, finding something out about an enemy, something like getting free from that kind of situation, someone who's trying to bring you down in some way. But sometimes that enemy is ourself, and that's in the 12th house. So we're getting free and breaking free from a certain kind of like programming and everything like that. So that's a little nugget for each of the zodiac signs. But yeah, I think that overall this could be, once again, like really big and important for climate topics, shifts in the food and restaurant industry, major innovations. Whenever we get Jupiter and Uranus together collectively, it's always like a major surge of creativity and inventiveness. We get new music coming out that's like really iconic. Like I would file Beyonce's Cowboy Carter under that, and we'll see what else we might be able to identify with this in retrospect. I mean, Taylor bringing her concert onto like the big screen. I mean, that's pretty big. No one's really done that like that before, or not in a long time. So that's pretty big stuff. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that in terms of music. But another thing I'm thinking of is reproduction. And this will continue to be a topic as we get into the full moon. But Jupiter definitely rules fertility, and Uranus rules science and innovation and autonomy. So we saw that case in Alabama. If you're not in the United States, then you probably didn't hear about it, but it was basically like they were going to ban in vitro. What I do like here is this trine with Lilith. And we see Lilith come up a lot with topics related to abortion and birth control and the right to choose. And I like that it's a trine. And I like that I heard that the Supreme Court probably isn't going to ban access to the abortion pill, mifepristone. I like that. I'm not, so this could, I think we'll hear something about this storyline as we kind of wait in limbo, trying to hear like what the final say is. But I like the autonomy factor here with Uranus. There's an autonomy factor, the right to choose. And that's like Mother Earth too. Mother Earth, we think of Mother Earth as like a Taurus. Yeah, there's something about like, can we liberate the burdens on our planet? What can we do? So hopefully we'll see some good news about that. But for right now, this is your Jupiter-Uranus astrology shot of the day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also head on over to my website, catherineurban.com, where you can book your next astrology reading. We'll go into depth into your natal chart, your progressions, your profections, your solar return, your transits, and beyond. You can also join my mailing list where you can stay up to date with me on new classes as well as article drops. I look forward to connecting with you, and I'll see you next time.